Hello, and welcome back to the Paper Soprano Podcast. I am your Paper Soprano host, and my Paper Soprano name is Heidi. Oh god, these intros keep getting, weirder and weirder. I'm not, upset about it. I just want you to know that I know, okay? So, yeah, you guys, today's Sunday, but it sure as hell doesn't feel like Sunday to me, because guess where I was all morning? At work. And guess where I was all of yesterday morning? At work. Had to work this weekend. Fine, totally fine. Worked on campus. Did some things at the old building that I manage. And yeah, because it's opening weekend, but honestly, I saw very little humans. I don't know if it's just because people aren't really wanting to move on campus because, COVID and stuff. What's the point? Also, it's way too expensive. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't see a ton of people and I was expecting to see more. But anyway, also taught some lessons this weekend. Gave a little preview of what's to come in my life. I recently got a new job as a virtual teacher. God rest my soul. I now have 14 students. So if you want voice lessons, you're gonna have to wait because I cannot take any more students right now. Good Lord Jesus Christ, please do not put any other students on my agenda. Yeah, they're not all some of them are half hours, some of them are 45 minutes, but still, it's a lot to coordinate. And even just sending the schedules and coordinating with parents, but also coordinating with the individuals themselves. Oh my God, that takes a lot of effort. This is no joke, people. Scheduling is no joke. I feel like sometimes I feel like if I had an assistant, you know what I mean? Just somebody to just tell me where to go and tell me what to do, and someone who deals with my schedule, someone who deals with my planner, someone who deals with my paying the bills and stuff, silly little things, someone who does, I can tell them to do my dishes or take out the garbage, that would be it. I don't need a nice car. I do not need a nice house. I don't even care. I don't even need nice clothes, nice shoes. Don't care. Couldn't care less. But I would die for an assistant. Whew. And it would be a big transition, because if you're anything like me, I am such a control freak. It's not even funny. So maybe an assistant wouldn't work out in the end. But anyway, let's see. Did some practicing just now. Voice is feeling okay. Last couple of days, been feeling pretty okay. I'm practicing the Willow song right now from Baby Doe, and also the Haydn opera that I am currently cast in, and also some Caro Nome, although I haven't picked that up in a couple of days. I really need to revisit, because girl, my lessons are starting up again on Wednesday, Hanny. Okay, so I'm excited, even though they're going to be virtual, which kind of stinks. Yuck. Ew. Stinky. I hate being virtual, but I think I may have cracked the code in terms of feeling more like you're actually out and about doing something, and you're taking a virtual class, right? This is you. You're taking virtual classes, you're taking virtual lessons, whatever you have to do. And for some reason, you just feel like you're not in it, and you leave every lesson, you leave every class feeling like this is silly, like whatever, I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I think the solution is putting on a pair of shoes. Hear me out. I just had a practice session that was really good, honestly. And I haven't had like a stellar practice session in a long time. This one wasn't stellar by any means, but it was good. And I was wearing my heeled boots. And they're like, what, maybe 2.5-inch heels? Nothing crazy by any means, you guys. But like, the fact that I was wearing shoes and not like slippers or just socks, I think might have been a game changer. And like, I'm going to start wearing shoes when I teach lessons. I'm going to start wearing shoes when I take classes and I'm sitting at a desk here at the apartment. I think this is going to be a new thing. Like, try it out and tell me what you think, because I think that there's something specific about wearing shoes in your house. And like, yes, I get it. Also, like, ew, yuck, I'm not going to wear my shoes in my house. But for me, I literally, like, my piano is right next to my little front door. So like, I take my shoes off right there anyway. They're just sitting next to my piano. So I put them on while I'm playing the piano or practicing. It's not that big of a deal. It's not gross. I'm not like wearing them in my bedroom or anything, which I know some people, your setup is in your bedroom. But maybe pick a pair of shoes that you don't wear outside that are just your indoor shoes. They're your Zoom shoes. You know what I mean? Maybe that's going to help us out. Maybe it's just a little trick you can play on yourself. I also wanted to talk to you guys today about how if you are a professional in this world, or a young professional, young artist, and you currently have a website, oh God, you can commiserate, because having a website is such a stressful thing. Like, I was thinking about this today because I actually went to visit my website because I was changing like my email signature or something like that. And I was like, oh, my website's on here. And I had a flashback to a moment where somebody was like, oh yeah, your website didn't work many months ago. But I was like, oh yeah, I wonder what would happen if I just like clicked this hyperlink. And it didn't work. And I was like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? And I started getting like super anxious and like freaking out because like, obviously it's super unprofessional looking when you like put your website on things and then somebody goes to click on it or goes to visit your website and it just isn't there. So had a mini panic attack today at work and started like frantically, manically trying to create a new one and going through these things through Google, because I used Google Sites to create my website back in the day. And let me just tell you, do not use Google Sites. Google Sites is trash, absolute garbage. And the reason why the website failed, I guess, is because like my trial for Google Administrator or Google Business or something like that, like expired. But I've had that website for years. So I really don't understand how it's possible that it wouldn't have worked. I don't know. But anyway, I am now working with one of my friends and colleagues trying to create a new website, because you know what? Sometimes you tried something in the past and it worked for what it was, it was your very first website, she was cute. She was a little homely, a little problematic, and now we're just gonna let her rest, and we're going to move along and create something fresh. So I also feel like that whole process, which is why I'm like bringing in another person, that whole process for me of like creating a website. Oop, the doggies, you hear them? It's a segment if you're new here. Dogs barking is one of our segments on the pod every day, girl. Anyway. Oh, so the reason why I'm bringing someone else in is because I just have the worst luck with technology. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm so anxious about it and it makes me like insane. It makes me so upset because sometimes things are just unexplainable and you can't really explain it to the best of your knowledge. You don't understand why something isn't working. You don't understand why things are having issues. And that makes me freaking crazy. I hate it and I do not appreciate it. So I don't want to deal with that. And I know other people provide services that are highly effective and super good. And their websites look awesome and mine looks like poo. So like, why would I sit there and struggle when I value my time more than I value my money, clearly, in this sense. I value my time and my sanity, and I want to oh God. You know what I mean. It's just such a struggle when you're so bad at technology. Like, clearly, we do not edit this podcast. We are not tech savvy. I'm basically just throwing stuff out here on the internet. But that's the vibe, okay? That's the whole energy that I'm allowing myself to have right now. And I'm allowing myself to be bad at technology for this because it makes me crazy that I'm bad at technology. It ruins my creative outlet. And I think that's one of the main reasons why my website looked so bad, is because I just settled on things. And I was like, okay, this is like, doesn't look as good as so-and-so's, or it doesn't look as good as who's ever, but like, I can't figure out these websites and my computer doesn't work as well. And like, it gets slow when I try and go into these editors or like, try and download all these big files and whatever. It doesn't work for me. And I just get frustrated. And then I settle for like poor quality, basically. So that being said, I am trying something new. I'm allowing myself to invite somebody else into the creative process because I trust their judgment. And we'll see how it goes, you guys. I'm always very hesitant because when you like work with your friends, it's always a little bit questionable at times. I'm never trying to make anybody feel bad or like, say the wrong thing. So it's hard because you want to support your friends and you want to like work with them because like who doesn't want to work with their friends? But I always am very like cautionary, but at the same time it's like I want to tell them what I want. So there's a balance. You have to just find it. Oh, what else? Oh my goodness. Let's do some reading, shall we? Another segment besides the doggies barking is our Minute Composer sketch. Our daily sketch, you guys. Okay, yesterday we had Luigi Boccherini. And today we have another Luigi. So many Luigis. Luigi Maria Cherubini. Good Lord. This subtitle is so bizarre. Like, why? They have, like, little subtitles for every person. And this one's is this Cherubini, the Italian who composed German music in France. Like, why'd you have to do that guy like this? Why'd you have to do him so dirty like that? Like, what kind of title is that? What a weird thing to call someone. Oh yeah, Cherubini, I know him, the Italian who composed German music in France. Like, what? I'm sorry, but like, what a bad title. Okay, anyway, born 1760, died 1842. A long name and a long honorable career of teaching and composing, a long catalogue of compositions, and oblivion for most of them. That, in a word, is the story of Cherubini. But he is remembered, if his works are not, because of his profound influence on music, because he injected into French opera the dramatic quality of the German and influenced succeeding composers to do likewise, because he was the first to make use of the English horn, and solo cello in orchestras, and because he clarified many rules of counterpoint in his masterly treatise on the subject. He was born in Florence, September 14th, 1760. A student by nature, he applied himself at an early age to absorbing all the musical teachings he could lay hands on. His father, who was a theater harpsichordist, as well as numerous teachers of composition, subjected him to a rigorous drill, the theory being that the drier learning was... What a strange sentence. God, I'm so illiterate. The more thorough it must be. What the... I'm such an idiot. Oh, okay. Finding a wretched fiddle at home, he taught himself to play so acceptably that on one occasion, when he was about 10, he slipped in and substituted unobserved for an absent violinist in the theater orchestra. Wow, okay. Eventually, he became, according to some estimates, the most accomplished musician of the 19th century. All right. I've got a couple eyebrow raises at that. During his first period, 1760 to 1791, he wrote chiefly sacred music and light opera in the Italian style. The second period, 1791 to 1813, was devoted to the composition of his greatest operas, Medea, Fanisca, Abencerrages, Loroschita, and Les Deux Journées, the water carrier, in parentheses. Wow, I just butchered absolutely all of those words. I don't even know what language they're in. Good lord. Oh, okay. And a timer's going off. What a mess this is. Sorry if you were just triggered by that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so, alright, here we go. God, I lose my place all the time. On the strength of the two last, Beethoven dubbed him the greatest composer of his time. That's high praise. As despotic director of the Conservatoire in Paris from 1821 to 1841, he was more feared than loved, even by his wife and 3 children. When Liszt and Rubinstein applied for admission, he actually rejected them and made Berlioz's student life thoroughly miserable by frowning upon his musical ideas as too radical. Dignified conservatism was his platform. The fiery eyes under beetling brows atop the small body darted in their lightnings as balefully upon Napoleon when he availed himself of his imperial privilege of meddling in the affairs of the conservatoire as upon the humblest student. What? If you understood that sentence, good for you, because I literally just, scanned over it, 3 times. I couldn't tell you. I think it's a description of him. Fiery eyes under beetling brows. Like a beetle. Beetling brows atop the small body darted their lightnings as balefully upon Napoleon when he availed himself of his imperial privilege. I'm probably just putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong word and therefore misconstruing the real meaning of this sentence, but oh boy. Anyway, the picturesque figure, this, quote, Italian who composed German music in France, end quote, music replete with color and melody, a model of classic form. When death took him on May 15th, 1842, from his meticulously neat little office, it removed the greatest teaching and organizing force of his century. Really? I don't know. Maybe this... If anything, these minute sketches have been, really introducing me to some people who I guess I should know more about. Shoot. I don't know. Oh, man. Anyway, that was interesting. Although, sometimes I feel like when I read these things, I'm like... Oh, God, it's like I'm perpetuating the singer stereotype. But here's the thing, you guys. while I am a literal idiot, I'm trying really hard to learn new things, and like I'm constantly trying really hard to learn new things. Like it's not just this or like, you know, these little silly minute sketches of people. Like I feel like I have a very hungry brain, if that makes any sense, and I'm constantly trying to like consume information. So if you're like that, I hope you're enjoying these minute sketches. I'm honestly having a great time. It kind of reminds me of when you were in like ninth grade social studies class and your teacher was like, okay, we're gonna read this thing now about like World War II. Read this passage, go ahead. And like you just read a passage out loud to the class and it would be like a fun little reading time. Although definitely got super embarrassed like I am now when I like mess up words or like say the wrong thing. Oh man, I have a story that I cannot tell on this podcast because it is too embarrassing. But I have a story about reading in class, like when you read in class, and if we're ever hanging out in person again, if the world ever stops being like apocalyptic and scary, remind me of this story and I will tell you my traumatic reading out loud story that happened to me at Hamburg High School. So just let me know. Anyway, okay, I am going to get back to practicing, and I'm gonna practice Caro Nome. I've got to practice Caro Nome. I can't practice Willow Song anymore. Oh my god. I've got to lay down the law. You know when you practice like the one thing you're like, oh, this is so nice and new and fun. And you're like, no, you need to like, it's like that one meme of that girl holding hands with that guy who's like looking over his shoulder, looking at the other girl walking by. Like the girl who's got the angry look on her face is Caro Nome and I'm the guy looking at Willow Song. And it's literally like, you just picked up Caro Nome like a month ago. Like, can you pay more attention to Caro Nome for God's sake? Anyway, I'm gonna go, you guys. So, I also don't have work tomorrow, so tomorrow's a little snow day. I hope that if you are on the East Coast, or specifically in the New York, Long Island area, that you are prepared for our little snowstorm that's about to happen here. And I hope you don't have work tomorrow. If you have to go in person, if you're at home, you know, sorry, snow days don't exist anymore. But if you have to go in, you might get your snow day fix. So, congrats. Alrighty, you guys. If you liked this podcast by any chance, this hot mess of a podcast, then I encourage you to subscribe to the channel because I do post a daily podcast. Every single day I post an episode similar to this one. There's a variance of insanity, but it's pretty similar. And yeah, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know what you think of my horrible literacy skills and reading skills. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whenever you happen to be listening to this. And yeah, I'm gonna talk to you guys tomorrow, so don't even worry. Okay? Don't even worry. All right. Love you, mean it. Bye. Okay. Also, sorry. I know I just said love you, mean it. Bye. But like, I know that I can start recording again. And I didn't even mention that today's the 60th episode. We've done 60 episodes together, you guys. 60. So, okay. That's my little PS. And now, for real, thanks for listening for 60 episodes. If, God forbid, you've listened to all 60. But seriously, thank you so much. And I really do appreciate you being here. I know there's a handful of you out there listening who really do listen to all of these episodes. And while I am making this as like a creative project for myself, it is really nice to know that there are people out there who enjoy it and who listen to it, and you know, it makes their day a little bit brighter or better, or you know, they can put this on while they're cleaning or doing some work or something. I don't know. Whatever you do when you listen to podcasts. So thanks for choosing this one. This, of course, is the Paper Soprano Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I can't believe it's been 60 episodes. Good Lord. I shouldn't be so surprised that we literally do one every day. So, okay. I really do love you, and I really do mean it. So, bye for real. See you tomorrow.